Welcome back, guys, to Mad Marketing's YouTube channel. And today we're going to be discussing leadership. But most importantly, we're going to be discussing the communication style of a leader. Most of you have come across these kinds of people, these kinds of authentic beings. Leaders are actually very in touch with their heart and with their emotions. And that's what makes them so unique, as they are living their life in a way that doesn't or isn't created necessarily to please anybody else. They are living a life in a way that it's created to amuse them for themselves and so that they can feel fulfilled and feel enjoyment. And you'll come across these people. They walk tall, their back straight, their chest out, and a lot of the time they might look very serious, and some people find them very intimidating. And that's part of being a leader. Now, if you find yourself intimidated, whether you're aware of it or it's subconscious, you'll notice that you don't necessarily act the same around this kind of person. You're very careful about what you do and or say, even though they may not be wearing a uniform. They may not be your manager or the business owner or a parent, right? They can even just be a friend, same age as you, but you immediately will have more respect for this person. You immediately would be careful of how you treat this person. And that's because this person is living from their heart, and they've done the work, or maybe they even started out as in a healthy family where they have been able to have love grow, and they're authentic and they're comfortable in their own skin. They're comfortable with who they are. And so the communication style of these kinds of people is very intense and extremely unique, right? Without knowing anything about you, you will receive the utmost respect from them. Why is that? Because that's how they expect to be treated as well. When I go out to a store, when I'm with my friends, when I'm in any place where I talk to any stranger, I expect to be treated with the utmost respect all the time. And because I have this expectation to be treated with the utmost respect, and I understand how important that is to me, I tend to treat others with that same respect. And it's given back to me 100-fold. So that's not the only thing that's important, right? So a lot of the communication done from leaders is they really have the ability to carry that conversation. They have the ability to carry, right? So if you ever play Call of Duty or Fortnite or any kind of games, and you always have this person, they're carrying the team, right? There, instead of like being said in a bragging way, no, they carry the people. A leader carries his people, right? And he's able to do that through the unspoken word. So you, as a leader, you have the ability to read people without them having to say what it is they're thinking, say what it is they're feeling. You can understand and you can feel what they're feeling. You can understand when something is wrong in their behavior, even if you don't necessarily know them, even if it's your first time meeting them. Right? And interestingly enough, it's possible for you to understand something about a person before that person understands it about themselves, right? So you can be talking to someone, for example, and there's a feeling of a very good back and forth, that this conversation, neither party wants it to end, right? But the other person might not even know that they're trying to keep the conversation going. But you are aware, you're self-aware, and so because you're so self-aware, you're aware that the other person continues to speak and is trying to prevent the conversation from ending. Now, you can choose to continue the conversation or go, but as a leader, chances are you're going to choose whatever it is you want. You're not going to consider the fact that this person wants to keep speaking if you have to go, right? You, it's always important to be true to yourself first. Next, people have boundaries, right? Some people have very strong boundaries. Those are usually the leaders. They have very, very strong boundaries, and they do not hesitate to make it known that you are crossing a boundary if you happen to do so. They will let you know right away, and they will draw that line in the sand immediately. However, a lot of people don't have these strong boundaries. So leaders treat, like I said before, they treat others with respect because their goal isn't to cross these boundaries and make these people feel small. We don't want to do that. We want to build people up, right? Just like this was in the Hamlet play, a leader like George Washington wanted to step down from presidency so that the country can carry on, because he knew that ultimately one day he will no longer be president. And if he steps down from presidency while he's still alive and lets it continue on, if disasters arise, he would at least be still around to do something about it. But he's also able to step down to let it flourish, let it grow. He picked it up to a point where others can take what they've seen, learned, experienced, and done and continue to move forward without him. As a leader, my goal is not for me to feel like I don't want you to need me. I don't want you to need me. You might feel like you need me. I don't want you to need me. Right? This is why I teach. This is why I have this YouTube channel. I want you to be the leader that you are, so that you can lead your own people. Right? So here's the thing. It's slightly off topic. It's not really about the communication, but it does play a role in how a leader actually communicates, because it requires this specific kind of mindset that changes the way that you communicate. Leaders understand that if people follow you, it is not by force. It is not because you begged. It is not because you ask. It is because they choose. You want to lead in a way and provide and give the most value to the people that you want to inspire, for them to choose to learn from you, choose to absorb and practice the things that you're offering them of their own free will. That's the most important thing that every leader needs to understand, and most successful leaders do understand. To be a leader means to lead people. To lead people, there must be people that choose to follow. This choosing needs to be done on their own free will, with no extra convincing, no nothing. We don't put in energy to try and convince people to follow us. No. We are going to be true and authentic to ourselves, and those who appreciate it will choose to follow, and those who do not will choose not to follow. And it's not taken personally, right? So that's a huge thing. So once you understand that and you shift your mindset from that oh, I need you to follow me, I need you, come on, come, to I'm just gonna go, I'm just gonna go anyway. If you come, great. If you don't, great, right? Then you start speaking to people differently. You understand that things that you say, you don't need to overtly explain yourself. The amount that you actually speak, for me especially, I used to be a chatterbox. I speak so much less now. And interestingly enough, when I do speak, people listen extremely closely. And when I say extremely closely, I mean their bodies are turned in my direction. Their phones are away. They're making strong eye contact, looking directly at me, listening intently to what I have to say. I don't waste my breath on saying things that are meaningless. I don't waste my time on saying things that are meaningless, have no value, have no importance. Leaders understand this, that their time is extremely important. And so every day, every hour, they try to show up and be their best for themselves and then for the people around them, the people that are choosing to follow them. So, communication of a leader. This video is a little bit chopped up, but I think you guys get the strong point that's being made here. You're extremely respectful of others. You have the ability to read people, meaning you have the ability to know what they're comfortable with and to know what they're not comfortable with. So you're in a place where you can escalate things or de-escalate things depending on the feeling and your reading that you're getting off of these people. You expect to be treated with the utmost respect, and you treat others with the utmost respect, and you understand that there's no need for extra convincing or neediness, and people will choose to follow you based on the value that you give them. I hope you enjoyed this video, my fellow leaders. If you did, like and subscribe. I wish you guys the best, and I'll see you next time.